I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui.
Sorry, I guess we're live. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Happy New Year. Almost. We're still 2020. Don't beat up yet. Hope you guys are doing great.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining the live. This is the guest that I put. If you guys looked at the little thumbnail, it's my guest, Mr. Tristan Crowder. We'll get to that in a minute, but we are in Sac. We're still home time. Me and Ashley still here. We're hanging out. This is our best friends and our buddies who keep our bikes safe when we're on the road, which is most of the time. So that's what we're doing out here, guys. We want to enjoy New Year's, and what best way to end the New Year's than to bring out a guest to talk to you guys that are probably still on the road or have nothing to do, not with families. We surely appreciate it if you guys are on the road. Be safe. He is a trucker. We'll get into that in a minute. And but I know it's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen for your entertainment. And so I hope you guys are liking it. Let's see. Make sure you guys can hear us out. Hello, what's up, American Driver? American Dream. How's it going? I say Dream. I say Driver. You see, I've had a couple already. Hold on. Yeah, we've had a couple already. So don't be mad. We've had a couple already, guys. So you know we got. It's all right. See what we got here.
It's beer and barbecue tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. How's it going? Five Beauties. Yeah, definitely. Happy New Year's for everyone else out there. Thank you very much, Michael. Hope Happy New Year's to you too as well as we're getting there. If you guys are on the road and are watching this, I know a couple of my Melton rookie buddies are out there on the road. Some are training right now in wintertime, which is the best time to do it with a trainer. Get used to the road and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are watching or tuning in a minute, thank you very much. Be safe, be on the road. But today we're just chilling. I wanted to bring Tristan into the channel. I knew it was going to be home time. He's one of my buddies. He does something totally different that I do not do. I'll let him tell the story, but we know each other for how long now? Almost going 3 years.
Yeah, I'd say
4 years.
Somewhere along that line.
Yeah, we're 4 years because we definitely met. I've been almost 3 years with Ashley, and we met definitely before that. So.
Oh yeah. So I'd probably say probably pushing 4 years at this point.
Yeah. So we go. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Time flies, brother.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. If you guys see fire back there, he's a smoker. He's barbecuing. There's a smoker in the back. He's giving instructions to them to what to do. This guy's the barbecue guy.
I do what I can.
So he's definitely giving instructions.
Like when I told you big tongs, I meant the big tongs.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
Damn. Look, you got headsets and everything out there. Yeah, you're gonna be a little bit closer to the mic, so
okay.
Get it adjusted there, so I can. If I can hear you, you're good. You're good. But
levels are doing pretty good. We're good here.
Yeah. You guys can hear. You guys can hear. You can let us know if you guys can hear.
All right.
Leonard, how's it going, man? I'm gonna put this up there, Mr. Leonard. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey. Happy New Year to you too, baby. Happy New Year to you too, man. If you're on the road, hopefully you're home. But if you are on the road, much appreciated. We both know what that takes to be on the road. I don't want to speak for him.
I'm home daily, so
yeah,
I get the trucking side of it, but my ass is in my bed every time I go to sleep. So
yeah, he sure is. So we'll get into that. We want to do a little chat. Let some folks come in here, guys, but we're chilling. Decided to do a live instead of just recording this part of the the chat and the interview that I wanted to do with him, something I had planned, but I decided let me go ahead and just do it live. It's it's New Year's Eve. Maybe some of you guys, talking to family and stuff, but right now I have a little bit of time.
Leonard's at home right now too. So
you're home. Oh, nice, man. Leonard's home. That's awesome. I'm glad, man. Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for taking a little bit of time to come join us.
Yeah, enjoy your home time, definitely.
Yeah. Let us know what part of the country you're in, because we're in Pacific time, so we're in California. Yep. It is 5:40. We got a little ways to go before New Year's actually comes through in. So let us know where you got what hometown is for you guys, if you don't mind. And as we get into this conversation today, there's no really a time set up for this, guys. So right now, Mr. Barbecue, you can see he's paying attention to that meat.
I got rookies handling my meat right now.
you got those rookies, man. So that is important to make sure that meat tastes good. And he's awesome at that. He's definitely awesome at that. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Not that I've known you for 4 years and we're hanging out, but you're here for my meat too.
I'm here for your meat too. This is one time I make an exception. So, but just having a good time, enjoying home time. I already got a load for when I go back to work on Monday, so I got to enjoy this weekend. So,
yep. I'm dry.
Callie, he's dry. I'm not gonna move the camera because my producers and my helpers is working on the kitchen. So, but he has a keg right here. He's one of the reasons I got into IPAs also, as I got into the state. So I don't know what you guys like to drink, but when it comes to beer, we both like IPAs. And because he gets to be in hometown in California, there's a lot of breweries. A lot of very good breweries, and every time I come around, he's like got a new one.
Yep, I like to find all the local Sacramento breweries, see what I can find, bounce back and forth between. Kind of been on a kick with reds lately, so I've had a lot of red ales, a couple amber ales, an amber lager here and there. I had a red IPA. I think next we're actually going to do a stout, because I do like my dark beers too, so. We keep it rolling pretty good. Just give some local business some love out here, because especially with all this COVID shit happening, it's just been a rough year for everybody. So knowing that they're all closed down, they can't have people inside. Like, least I can do is, like, if I'm running a kegerator at home, least I could do is go and throw some money here, buy a keg here, buy a keg there, help them out a little bit. So awesome. And it goes great with barbecue. Like, you can't beat this.
Oh, it goes great with barbecue. Definitely goes great with barbecue. And this boy likes to barbecue, guys. This boy likes barbecue. Let me double check who's here right now.
Every weekend.
Mr. Kenny from Cali, going with your trainer on Monday. Any tips? And Happy New Year. Yeah, I know. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year to you too. What's up, Michael? I see you coming in. Okay, I'm not forgot about you. I got your comment right there. Any tips for your trainer? From Cali. Are you in the Tulsa terminal? Are you in Melton or going with a different company? What company are you in, Kenny? Let me know where you're in. Yeah, good chatting with you, Michael, yesterday. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was an awesome chat. We're live. I surely appreciate you coming on. That's pretty cool. Can you guys see us and hear us okay? Let them know. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up already. If you can hear me okay, you're liking the content today or listen to the channel, just give it a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. So make sure to do that.
Back on my meat just now.
Yeah, he's getting
I had to tune in and out.
He's getting some report back from the wife. He get a report back from I'm going to declare a little ahead. I already know what's going to happen from the wifey. The wifey's giving reports back, right?
Right.
I'm getting the look. Thanks, Leonard. Thumbs up.
I'm not embarrassed to say it. Yeah. She knows it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen.
We all know
she knows she's gonna make it happen. So whatever.
Let me not talk too much. All right. But to answer, okay, you're with Milton here in Cali. My trainer is on hometown until Monday. Okay, Kenny. I read that because last stream I had, which was my first one, I at the end, if you guys were on it, I had a little funny little comment going on. So I got to learn to read before I put it on the screen for you guys to read, because there's some dumb people in this world, and they call me because I'm too naive to just believe that people are saying the right thing. But okay, he's on Monday. Awesome. And Michael's asking you how you like it so far. Well, Kenny, if you're going with your trainer, and he's on home time, and he's getting picked up from Cali, just be a sponge. That's all I can say. Just be a sponge. Ask questions. Every trainer is different. They train different. Their truckers are home as well, so you have to kind of have that hard conversation where you think it's not important. It is important. I think it's respectful. Just have the conversation about, whether they cook in the truck, not cook in the truck, whether you have to have, money for food, or do you want to share the fridge space. All that little details are actually important, because once you get on the road, that's your home for those weeks of training. So I'll definitely,
if you don't figure that shit out beforehand, once you get out on the road, if you haven't asked those important questions beforehand, you're going to be out on the road and be in this uncomfortable position trying to figure out, like, oh, well, I brought all this stuff with me, but he's got a full fridge already. Right. And if you would have just raised the question, he would have either emptied out the fridge to make sure that he's got space for you, or would have told you, no, I got it covered. Like he's going to let you know. Like, you gotta think of this as like moving in with a new roommate. You're going to be out on the road with this person in a small confined space for the next, 3-4 weeks?
3 weeks for Melton.
Yeah. You got to think about all the stuff that you have with you, that your creature comforts that you have with you at home. All that stuff's going to get combined down into a space that's smaller than the room you're hanging out in now.
Or smaller than your kitchen.
Yeah. So make sure that you're having those conversations. Like, it's might be awkward to bring some of that stuff up, but make sure that you're talking about it. Because if you don't bring that stuff up, then you're going to spend 3 weeks being miserable in a truck when your trainer doesn't even know anything's bothering you. You know, so just speak up. Make sure you're taking care of your stuff. Make sure you're being respectful to your trainer. Like you guys are going to have set your boundaries and figure out who's comfortable with what and stuff. So don't get out there and just. You don't want to be super passive and let your trainer run over the top of you, but you also don't want to be super aggressive and run over the top of your trainer. Like most trainers probably aren't going to let you do it, but you gotta find a happy median. You treat it like a roommate. You guys are sharing this space. You guys both need to respect each other and respect the space. So if you end up with a trainer who's a bit of a neat freak, you need to play in suit with that. Like, you can't just decide to, like, I'm gonna leave my trash here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You need to be able to be like, okay, pick up after yourself. Because if you at least pick up after yourself, that trainer is gonna then, like, if their neat freak kicks in, they're gonna clean everything else, but they're gonna see that you're making the effort and keeping your space clean, and that's not gonna be an issue. You don't want to be 4 days out on the road with somebody and have this person just be like, oh, it's fucking slob. That's the last thing you want,
Yeah. And I've seen him. I heard stories when I was in orientation in Melton.
Yes, Leonard, exactly. Closed mouth don't get feed.
That's right. I will hit that light. Closed mouth, definitely, Leonard. But you have to speak that up. You have to share that. Also, you might have. I got to be realistic. You might have a trainer that's not as clean as maybe you are. And you may have to put up with that because that's his home. So, but have that conversation. It's uncomfortable. One big team as far as that conversation is showers. I have that conversation as how they like what their shower schedules is. Because me personally, I would prefer showering every day, but I definitely on low days and empty days, those days I would definitely want to shower. I can skip the one afterward, but I definitely want to shower after that.
Yeah. If you're putting in some work, like if you build up a sweat, that's a good day to take a shower.
But there's 9 times out of 10 that is definitely a possibility. There may be the one in between. I had that experience as well. Once I was solo, where I was as far as I could go. There was no truck stop for me to go in my hours, and I did have to take a bottle shower and a wipey shower and by myself, but I was by myself already at the time, so that's more comfortable. But it's two guys.
You can live in your own stink.
Yeah, I can live in my own stink.
You got if you're sharing a space, that's a tight quarters to be sharing with somebody else. So,
but at the same time, when I was in my trainer, even though we had that conversation the last week, we spent about 5 days where we didn't stop in the truck stop. It wasn't my fault. He was in control of that one. I wasn't too happy, and I didn't have the cash flow enough towards that point, and I had to ask my dad, send me $20. I got to pay for a shower because I can't hold it anymore. So I went and took care of that. So make sure you do that. As far as the work is concerned, man, just your body's gonna hurt. You're gonna get used to it, it takes a minute for your body to get adjusted to the tarping and muscle memory, and it goes beyond the training weeks. So just be a sponge and learn. You're not going to learn everything in 3 weeks, but just ask as many questions as you can and be observant. And I hope you're with a good trainer, as they should be as a trainer, to want to teach you as much as they can while you're with them. And once you're solo, not only my channel, you have safety and all that with the company, but if you need some help, you know where to reach me at on Instagram. Hook me up, Wolf Rider 750.
Make sure you're networking.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if you come across some situation, some other driver's been in that same situation. So make sure that you've got your good connection with fellow drivers. So something comes up, you have somebody you can reach out to and be like, hey, this is my situation. What can you do? What can I do? Can you help me? You know, because last thing you want to be is out in the middle of nowhere and feel like you're by yourself.
Definitely.
So make sure that you're networking and staying close to people.
Yeah, that definitely helps. So make sure to do that, guys. So let me.
I got to speak to Michael here because he's talking about a 3-pound prime rib and some potatoes and Brussels sprouts. That sounds amazing, brother.
You want to spill out what you got over there?
That sounds great. Right. I got a smoker. So like when I fire that bad boy up, I'm not fucking around. So we did some short ribs. I did a nice maple bourbon rub on those. I've got a pork butt that's still going right now. We've got some pork shoulders, some sriracha chicken, which is my own little blend. What else did we throw in there? Got the pork shoulders, short ribs, the pork butt, chicken. There's something else.
Oh no, I haven't even been out there.
It's all in here in the oven now.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that's left out there's a couple short ribs still going, and then the pork butt itself is still going. And then my girl threw down some jambalaya on the side. Like
that was we're already snacked on that. That's delicious.
We're throwing down tonight.
We're definitely throwing down. So before the party really gets going, we wanted to kind of get this going.
Yeah, and then this is a special ale.
Yep.
From a local brewery here in Sacramento called Alero Craft. If you guys are in the area, definitely hit them up. Great brewery, great people. We know the owners. They came out here and actually helped me with my kegerator when I was having an issue at one point. Great people just to go in and say hi. From what I know right now, like with all the other shutdowns and stuff, they're still able to operate. So it's limited capacity. They'll do like outdoor patios and all, of course, to go. So they're doing pretty good. But you can't beat the service. Great beer. I wish I can. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff that was on the barbecue because I filled that smoker up.
This guy likes to barbecue, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for the info. You're welcome, Dizzy. I hope I didn't kill your name on there, but Dizzy Fresh.
It says down there, Denzel from Cali.
Nice.
Where in Cali, Dizzy?
Yeah. Where in Cali you at? Let us know where you at.
Anybody in Cali knows this is a big ass state.
Yeah, definitely. 806 Driver, man. Thanks for showing up again. This guy's he's bigger YouTube than I am.
Okay.
And he's been following me. He's
Happy New Year's to you too.
Yep. Happy New Year's, man.
Denzel's down in LA.
Okay. Yeah.
See, my phone's going off too.
Awesome. All due respect. I was there before I came home and I hated the traffic. I hated traffic. It was it drove me down to get to my receiver when I was jumping up. I had 3 minutes left when I parked in there.
Oh yeah. I told you about
that. It took 2.5 hours as I walked in. It should have taken me 45 minutes, and I was 3 minutes left. So I love LA, but I like Cali, but I hated it that day. Everybody got screamed. Leonard, you're in Woodland. You're down the street, brother.
Oh, yeah, brother. We're out here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
We're in Natomas right now.
Yeah, you're down the street, man.
Shit.
What's up, neighbor?
Yeah. Next time we'll have his ass over here.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Right on, DZ. He's got family out here in Sacramento too.
Awesome.
Paul, so you're talking about COVID. Is it slowing down the loads? I don't know about on their end.
Nope.
So I drive for FedEx, And
hold on, wait, don't get to that too much. Hold on.
All right.
I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a
To
chance.
answer your question, no. It's been busy. It's been busy all goddamn year.
You can imagine Christmas presents. Your Christmas presents. That's what.
Yeah, I need to start wearing a red hat because I'm the old motherfucking Santa.
Some are delayed. I'm gonna make sure. I got one package is delayed by Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. Make sure you guys deliver it right.
You send it through FedEx Driver. I'll make sure that shit's on time.
We'll get into that. I don't want to get into that because I want to go from the beginning. So I'm gonna stop them there. But as far as the loads with Melton, no, yeah, it slows down just a little bit. But most of at least from the last report we got from our office staff on videos, we do updates. There were only about 250 drivers out of the whole fleet staying, which is almost 1,400, I believe, at this point. So there were about 1,400, 250 only staying driving, and I know some of those are trainers, are training and things like that. But no, I mean, they keep us busy. Like I said, I already got a load. I go back Monday and I got a load already. They set it up for me today to go. So I'm sure it slows down a little bit. It's just a slow season for flatbed a little bit, but they still keep you moving. So just keep that in mind. They still keep you moving. I don't know if I put this one up. Got a lot of family out there in Sac. Well, next time, let me know. Who knows?
What was in the Thomas yesterday?
Leonard, you were in the Thomas yesterday.
Yep.
You see? Man, I didn't know. If I knew you were down here, who knows? I would have told you to come by. We could have shut this live with you here.
We'll have some stuff going. Like this ain't gonna be the only time.
Yeah. Every time.
I barbecue every chance I get. Every chance I get. I post that shit on Snapchat. I don't have an Instagram because I'm horrible at remembering to do social media. But I'm always throwing down. So we can definitely figure some other stuff out. Have another event here. Just for drivers. Just for drivers.
Yeah, definitely. This is gonna be a thing. Paul, awesome. I'll go to orientation with Melton on January 11th. Awesome, man. Awesome. That's about the time that I went last year. For me, I started January 20th. So that's officially my 1 year mark, and I got a video coming up on that. So stay tuned for that on the channel, guys. Again, if you're liking the show, make sure you hit that like button for me, guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot. This is what you got. Do Melton have a lot of business out here in Cali? We have some, not a whole lot.
I don't work for Melton, and I know the answer to that is no.
That is no. We have I know we pick up down in LA. We have a lot of steel comes out of there. We have insulation that we picked up from Modesto. There are some. If there's another Melton driver here that can help me out, I've only picked up insulation roofing material, which is what I'm picking up on Monday. I'm picking up roofing material going to Arizona. Insulation, roofing material, and down south, some steel. Up here in the Sacramento area, definitely not. I did pick up insulation up here in West Sac, what I delivered last time before I picked up my son. You guys probably saw that video now already. But there is some, so you'll definitely come out here. There are customers out here, but as far as a lot of customers, no, they're just enough to get you in and out. There's enough to get you in and out of here. Our installation customers, they always got something going on. What I tell you to expect is that you'll get there, and there's one customer in Modesto. I can't mention the name, but there's a customer in Modesto that every time I go there, I go with, okay, I'm going to go to a certain state. And when I get there, it's like, no, you're going somewhere else now.
Oh, they switch it up on you?
Switch it up. Okay. Yeah. And then I got to tell Melton, hey, they're switching the load on me. Oh, what? Okay. Just let us know where you're going. But
I remember Ashley saying something about it before.
Yeah.
But she said like it feels like when you guys do get out here, like there was a couple times where you just kind of ended up doing the I-5 corridor back and forth. We
did that between Washington and LA. Yeah. We did that earlier in the year before I came home and got shot.
I wish that was a joke.
Yeah, right. But it's not. I just joke about it now.
He ain't talking about a camera.
No, I'm not. It wasn't shot with a camera.
Yeah.
No, we did the we came here, we went to Washington and picked up lumber, went to LA, and from LA we picked up some steel and we went up to Washington, and then we got more lumber from Washington and came down to LA. Actually, it was Portland the second time, And I did 234s in Portland, which she has old friends and old quote unquote family. So we did 234s over there and spent weekend back to back, just chilling, rent a car, and just drive around.
There you go. Yeah.
And my kids are here, so I got to stop for like a 10-hour break and see the kids and surprise them, walk in the house like hello, and like, what are you doing here? But that kind of
like I haven't left.
Yeah, I haven't left yet. I came back again.
Did a big loop and came right the fuck back.
But we
it's
did
like a
that.
rubber band. Just
Basically. But then you get tired. We're like, okay, get me the fuck out of the West Coast. Get me tired West Coast. But let's see. I'll just check the chat before we get into the meat of this with Tristan.
Yep, Michael. That's how I do it. It's I run the kegerator, so there's always beer here.
Yep.
And then every weekend I have off, I'm barbecuing something. I love throwing down the smoker because the smoker's still fairly new to me. I've only had this for probably 3, maybe 4 months. Probably hasn't even been that long. I might be exaggerating how long.
I think you've been
about
two
months
or so.
But it's literally been just about every weekend I've got something firing up on that. It's a fourth, fifth passion. Like I don't know what I'm on now. between truck driving and motorcycles and RC trucks and beer. Yeah, so it's like the fifth passion now. right.
Yeah. We're gonna bounce. 806 driver. I'm gonna read this for you. Bounce. You're gonna bounce out of here. Go get a bit started. Definitely. Best of luck in your years and career in the channel. You're gonna blow up on with those cameras while getting editing skills as well, as well. Thank you, 806 driver. Happy New Year to you, man. I appreciate your support, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you one day, soon on the road or when I head down somewhere. So we gotta keep in touch, brother. To you and the family, Happy New Year, man.
Sure. Happy New Year, man.
What else you put? If you put out for these new to the industry guys, yeah, fun tonight. Oh, definitely. Oh, that was a continuation. Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely having fun, man. We're definitely having fun here. We got Michael, truck driver reservations for all major cities. Yeah, that is a site right there. Michael, thank you very much. I know we talked about that a little bit. Truckdriverreservation.com.
To me right now.
There you go.
Stay connected to your fellow drivers.
Yeah. Hey, tell them we're doing live.
It's important.
Tell you do it live.
It's important to stay in touch with the other drivers. Just network. Like when you meet new people, if you like them, if they're a better, not a better driver, if they're a more experienced driver, like you don't have to do exactly what they do, but you might pick something up. It might make something easier for you in the future. Just always connect with your drivers. We all talk. We're all willing to help out for the most part. I mean, I've been stuck in some shit situations and not knowing what to do. And then I've had. You really want me to be that fucking loud?
No, you're good. Okay. But I'm the tech picky guy.
That's fair. But like, just always stay connected with your other drivers, because if you're stuck in a hairy situation and you can't get a hold of dispatch, you can't get a hold of the person you need to talk to, they might have some insight to tell you like, hey, you know what? I've been to that site. It's a pain in the ass, but the office is on the far side. Like, go over to this side next to this and you'll be able to find it. Like, they're always going to be there to help you out. Like, at least in my experience, I've yet to find a driver that is, trying to do ill will towards another driver. Like it's like a brotherhood. Like we're here to help each other. Like, yeah, don't fuck me over, but in the same sense, like if we're out on the same site and you're having problems with something, I'm most likely going to walk over and help you with it. I see maybe you're new to setting up doubles, which we'll get into later. And if I see that you're struggling with it, I might go over there and offer some assistance, be like, oh, this is a trick I learned, and if I'm struggling hooking up a set, maybe another driver is going to come over to me and go like, hey, I can't, I noticed you're having problems with this. Why don't you try it this way? It might be able to help me out, or might be able to move a trailer out of my way or something, like just stay connected with your fellow drivers. You never know when other opportunities are going to come up, when you might have the opportunity to help another driver. Like, you never know. Just stay on top of it. Network with drivers. Be cool with other drivers. We're not out there by ourselves. we're all out there together. You know, there's another 100,000 drivers that are going through the same bullshit you're going through. So stay connected, help each other out. Like that's what it's all about. Like that's how we stay safe on the road. If you know there's some bullshit coming up, like if you drive through a city and get to the other side and there's the highways closed and you turn around and go back to a truck stop and you see some other drivers coming through there, fucking say something. Like if they pull over and be like, hey, I don't know if you're going west, but it's closed up there. Like they might have an alternate route that they can take. So they might help you out so you can get back on the road, but you might also save them the time so they don't have to go drive for 30 minutes to find that it's closed and turn around and come back. And they're going to appreciate that too. Like, look out for each other.
I actually had that happen. I was going through Arizona on 40 and there was an accident up front. And I had a driver get me on the CB. Hey, Melton, going westbound. And like, yeah, what's up? Hey, there's an accident in front. You might want to exit. I did his exit number, go around it because it's shut down because of an accident. It does help, which is another reason why you want to have a CB, even though you might not use it a whole lot like they used to be in the old days. But they do help to communicate. And I try to do the same thing for other drivers. The one thing I hate about that is when you get on the CB radio, you want to tell other people for coming the opposite way and nobody answers. Like, they got CB radios and you're talking to this old school, like 2-3 miles down the line. You're like, hey, there's what's going on this side. And then I've got one in my truck, but I never turned it on. So I'm that asshole. Yeah, you're one of those assholes. You're one of those assholes. Now I get it. I've spoken to a couple of vets, in the road that they say just the chatter has been different, through the changes. It's been different, so they rather not hear all the bullshit of people screaming at other people. And I agree with that. With what Tristan's saying, is I know we're new, but we should, those experienced truck drivers who are here, that channel is not for experienced truck drivers, but if you are listening or if you know anything, I'm just going to say, if you ever watch this live or whatever, but they talk a lot about camaraderie. They talk about helping each other, how truck drivers, my dad's been driving. He's in the mid-60s. He's been driving since he's 17 years old, probably 16. So he's one of those old school drivers, and I've seen him going through all that kind of stuff growing up. But they complain about the new drivers, which I understand, but I think that's always been a thing. I don't think just nowadays is any much different, maybe a little bit, but it's always been a thing. But hey, it starts with you guys also. I'm going to put you guys out there. It starts with you guys putting the example of what helping is. Most of the time nowadays, you use social media to bash on new drivers rather than help them. So that's why I created this channel also to not only share my journey and experience as a rookie driver, and it's what I want to concentrate, but also to put help out there for other rookie drivers coming in to, be what's real, what's going on, and to be helped. We should be supporting one another, not making fun of one another, just because you're bored out on the road. But definitely agree with that. Michael says, just get a little before we get into Tristan after this, I would only want to drive in Cali to get my hometown. Yeah, that's pretty much me too, brother. I only come here. That's why I'm out. Me and Ashley I'm out 3 months, at least 3 months, 2.5, 3 months at a time. I only come to Cali because my kids are here and I do my hometown here, and my other babies, which is our sports bikes, are here, which he takes very good care of for us. He's also a rider, so that's why he's the only person I will leave those babies with. He has permission to ride them, do whatever he wants with them, but that's the only reason I come to Cali.
I ride them naked, right? I put my balls right on your
that's
seat.
fine. You can take me a picture of that.
Rub my funk on it.
I'm glad. That's why I wash them before I get on them. but yeah,
Michael, don't be afraid to drive outside of Cali. Like I get it. Like you want to make sure your home time's regular. So you want to make sure that you're. I get your mindset. You want to make sure that you're close by, so that way you can have your home time when you want it. But don't be afraid to go out there and explore a little bit. Like, yeah, it might suck. You might end up getting out. You might be doing, 2-3 months out on the road before you get back home. But you've also, if you've done that much time out on the road, you've got that much more time you've built out. So when you do come back home, you can spend more time at home.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to go out and, put a little bit of time out elsewhere.
Yeah. I think he's referring that he don't want to deal with the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit.
No, but he says he only wants to drive in Cali. That's how I took that, at least.
That's it. No, I think I took it, and you can clarify, Michael. He said, I'm gonna post that on live.
I will only want to drive in Cali to get my home time.
Yeah, so he will want to stay out. The way I took it, he wants to stay out and only come here when he wants to go home. Clarify that for us.
Okay.
That's the way I took it, but clarify that.
I see what you're saying. I can see that too. I took it as he's saying he only wants to drive in Cali.
No, I took it that way.
But I see what you're saying.
So he only wants to come to Cali.
You guys are all over the fucking place. I just handle
He's saying so I'm gonna get into that. So let's get a little bit into that, and maybe we pause it, but we'll get into that. One of the reasons.
Don't mind me checking my phone right now.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm text messaging with another driver right now. That's why I'm saying it's so important to stay networking, because he's having issues right now on the road, and I'm kind of helping him as he's going along.
Oh, nice. So. You see, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Now you're talking to two rookies, or you're watching a rookie. You know, this is a rookie channel. You guys seen my channel. I am a rookie, in the sense that I got my Class A at the end of 2019. And 2020 mix right there, beginning of January, and started with Melton. He's one of the main reasons that he was the last comment and that note in my head of you need to go in that direction. He was my confirmation. I never told him this, but he was my confirmation of
this is new news to me too.
Yeah, I needed to make that change because he for a different situation. I'll let him explain, but he got his license about a month before I did. That I went in.
When did you get your license?
Well, I went to school on December 2nd. That's when I left the school.
December 2nd?
Yeah, that's when I left the training to LA.
Oh, that's when you left for it?
That's when I left for it.
Yeah, so I was about
close
month,
about a
month and a half, 2 months. Yeah.
Because he had told me you were waiting for a little bit.
I got my license like the end of October.
Yeah, you got it because technically I didn't pass my driving until January, so first week of January.
What's sad is who's gonna know. It's gonna be her.
Oh, you can call her if you need to. Sorry, it's all live show right here. It's called the babe.
I'm covering this mic like it's gonna fucking do something.
He's using his gaming mic. I tell him that he can use a board, which is down here. You guys can see, but I tell him you got to mute the view right here. He has his gamer headphones, so he thinks he's talking on that.
When did I get my license? It was like end of October, right? Yeah. No, I started working in November, so end of October because it was it was 2 maybe 3 weeks before I got a job.
Yeah, it was about that. I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I got my license end of October, and then I was working by mid-November.
Yeah. So you were working when we spoke. I think you had just gotten the call.
I just started working when we had talked that time.
So. When we had that conversation, it was like a confirmation for me to say, you know, I really need to make this change because it's the last thing that I've kept on my back pocket. I had a Class B for a long time and I did production. You guys probably heard that on me on another channel, production management. That's kind of warehousing. And then when he got his license here, and again, I'll let him explain the situation, how he got that happen. But that's what pushed me to say, you know what? The key words that he said that really pushed me was you can get paid the same thing no matter where you want to live. And Ashley and I were really thinking about already been trying to move out and find a job elsewhere. So being able to be paid the same amount of money if I'm with a company driver, and regardless of what part of the country I'm in, was a big deal for me. And that's what kind of like it clicked in my head like, yeah, he's right. Go ahead and do it. You know, don't wait any more time. So he's one of the reasons for that reason. Sorry. Let's see. Leonard posted on here. CB's real bad in the old days. Real bad or real bad? Is that what you mean? CB's were real bad in the old days? I'm assuming that's what you meant, brother.
Oh yeah. He's talking about CB. CB's a little bit more down there.
Oh, okay.
He corrected himself.
He corrected. There you go. Sorry. I'm going in line trying to keep up, Leonard. So I apologize for that. Let me know what was his name. His name of who? Sorry, we've been talking. So please go ahead and ask me, Leonard. Let me know what name you're asking about when we lost in the conversation. So I'm trying to keep up with the chat and all that kind of stuff. So help me out on there, and we'll answer your question. But yeah, I mean, he's the main reason. So we'll get into me. Well, I'll try to keep up with the chat where he talks. But let this guys know what was your the reason you got into it in the beginning. Let's start in the beginning. From the beginning, why you got into trucking.
Okay.
What made you do that? How you did it? Because he did it totally different than I did. And for also different circumstances and all that helped out. But he did a totally different way. So for you guys that are might be looking to get into getting your CDL and live here in the California area or your state, you can look into this different ways. But he can show what he was looking to. I know you went we had one plan and then you ended up doing it different, on your own.
Yeah.
Right. But you had plan A and then plan B came in, but you can explain that. And then once you got your license, what happened?
Okay.
Kind of share.
Yeah. So, so before I got into trucking, I was working in logistics. So I was always in contact with drivers. And, like I was working the other side. So I was their dispatch and I was doing all of their, I was doing all the paperwork. I was doing their dispatch. I was making sure that they were showing up. If there was a problem, I was handling it for them. Like I was basically customer service for the drivers before. And it was for a local electronic recycling company. And I did that for about 3 years. And towards the end of that, it just got to the point where I wasn't feeling it anymore, and I had a few people that were telling me, like, I had more than one driver that came up to me and say, like, hey, why aren't you driving a truck? Why aren't you driving a truck? And I'm like, honestly, I had never thought about it before. It's just always I've always had I had a couple, physical jobs when I was growing up, but once I got older, like I ended up in office jobs and just never really left office jobs because that's just where my skill set was at. And I never left that, that comfort zone or whatever. But the electronic recycling company, they downsized. I got laid off. I was sitting around at the house going, all right, I'm on unemployment. Like what's my next step? And then I talked to a bunch of these drivers again, and these drivers came up again and said, hey, why aren't you driving a truck? Why aren't you driving a truck? And I'm like, you know what? I like to drive. I like to be able to go out and I like going on road trips. Like I volunteered to drive when we do road trips. I'll do most of the distance if I can, So I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe driving's where it's at for me. So I started to look into it and like, what can I do to get my driver's license? What can I do to get my CDL? Like, where do I need to go to do all this stuff? So because I was on unemployment, California EDD had a program where they're like, oh, we can help you get your license. So I went through EDD. I went to all the classes they wanted me to go to. I signed up for basically a scholarship to get my CDL. Went to go get my CDL. Problem with it is that the timing was wrong. So when I went to go get my CDL from them, the state ran out of money, so they couldn't offer me a scholarship anymore. So I couldn't use any of the state programs to get my license anymore. So, I was kind of like, all right, well, here I am up, shit creek without a paddle. What do I do now? So I was like, okay, like they told me like, oh, we should get more funds in the next couple months. It might be next year. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be on unemployment for, 6 months. Like I want to figure this stuff out now. So I started doing my own independent research, started looking at all the different schools around here, finding out different prices. If there's anybody on here who's looking to get into all that kind of stuff, if you're looking to get your license, there's accredited schools and there's unaccredited schools. The accredited schools are going to run you between, I think the cheapest one I found was about $3,200 and the most expensive one was like $6,000. But they're going to take you through, you're going to get on the road experience with them. They're going to give you all your endorsements. So you're going to walk away with your CDL and the doubles endorsement and the hazmat endorsement and the tankers endorsement. So you can drive anything, right? Like they're going to make sure that you're set up. And most of the accredited schools also have job placement. So they're going to make sure that you're getting placed into a decent enough job when you get out of there. A lot of companies are very wary about picking up brand new drivers. Like that's definitely a rough spot. Like if you come in there saying like, oh, I just got my license, they're not just gonna be like, cool, we'll hire you. Like they're like, well, how long have you been driving? It's like, oh, well, I've been driving a car for 10 years. So like, well, how long have you been tractor trailer? Like, what's your experience with that? And if you come back with less than a year, it's going to be hard pressed to get a job through them because they want somebody who's already had experience. They basically want you to go fuck up somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know,
they want
they want you to break somebody else's equipment, and then once you get all your shit figured out, then they're willing to hire you. So it's definitely rough getting started out there. If you go through the accredited schools, it's a little bit easier because they're giving you the on the road experience and they're backing their promise that you know what you're doing. You know, so they're it's a little bit easier to get it going through there, but you know, that's the price you pay. You know, like you're gonna pay double the cost for that accredited school, but they're gonna get you they're gonna get you they're gonna get you job placement. They're gonna get you, you know, like set up with people who can help you, you know, further on down your career. For me, that $6,000 was out of the question. Like I wasn't gonna go pay $6,000 to do that because I wasn't even positive that this is what I wanted to do yet. So I found a school that wasn't accredited and went through them, and like it was still like $2,000. So you know, so you're still gonna have some out of pocket. And so I went and talked to them, and they basically all they do, they call them CDL mills here in California. I don't know if they call them something else anywhere else, but basically all it is a school that's just going to literally teach you the bare minimum to pass your CDL. They're not going to help you with your endorsements. They're not going to help you with any of that stuff. They're literally just going to like, they have you out in a dirt lot with a couple trucks with little 24, 28 foot trailers, and they'll teach you all the maneuvers. They'll teach you straight backing. They'll teach you offset backing. They'll teach you alley dock. They'll teach you parallel parking, and then they'll teach you the pre-trip.
What's the name of the company again?
The one that I went through for that. It was out in Lodi, California. It was called California CDL Services. Okay. So that if you're gonna go that route, like if you don't want to do an accredited school, if you're going to go unaccredited, that's definitely the one to go through. Very knowledgeable people there, and they're patient, and they're going to work with you. Their rate, I believe they charge $2,000, and they guarantee that you'll get your CDL by the time you leave. So once you get everything situated, they'll make sure that you pass the test. And it's like when you pay the $2,000, like you're good for like 6 months, and it shouldn't take that long. If it's taking you 6 months to get your license, then you probably need to look into something else. But I'm gonna be real with you. But I tested out of that school in a week. So I showed up on Tuesday, signed up, came back Wednesday to start my first day. By that following Wednesday, I was taking my CDL test and passed it and walked out of that class with my CDL. But I didn't have any endorsements. I didn't have any job placement opportunities. So it was literally just, all right, cool. I got my license. Now what? So at that point, now I'm searching around going, hey, I got my license. Hey, I got my license. That's how I found out that everybody wants you to have experience beforehand.
So let me ask you real quick. Sorry to interrupt. So what was your thought process? So you got laid off. You share that, right? We both had that in similar. I was working already self-employed from being laid off.
Down the street from me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I worked my last job before I went to trucking was down the street from his job.
Literally down the street.
He gave me a ride a couple of times.
Talking maybe 3 blocks away from the last job that I had before I went into trucking.
Yeah. And he was what? You were with them about 3 years. I don't know if I heard that. Probably I was trying to check on the chat here real quick, asking Leonard some questions. But
yep, you heard correctly. 3 years.
About 3 years with them, if I remember properly. I had just been 6 months with that company. Yep. I left a 2-year job to something that I thought was better, and no, it wasn't. I mean, the job was fine, but anyway, it didn't work the other way I wanted to. But what was going through your mind, like when you decided to go trucking? What was your thought process as a new person going into it? Did you think about it beforehand? Was it something that you had in mind that you thought you were going to do in the future, or it just happened what you thought would be your best next step? Why you made that decision to jump from, instead of going looking for another job, why you decided to jump into trucking?
Okay. In all honesty, I did go look for other jobs first. So it wasn't just, oh, I know what I want to do. Like I went, you know what? I need to go find another job. Where can I be stable? So I looked for other dispatching jobs. I looked for other customer service jobs. But in the back of my head, because of all the drivers that I dealt with at the last job, they kept telling me, like, why aren't you driving? Why aren't you driving? So it was always in the back of my head. And then I finally just went, you know what? For $2,000, I can go at least see. I might get out here and be like, oh, fuck this. Or I might be like, this is the best thing I've ever done. So my thought process was kind of scattered. It was I need to find something to do. I need to find a job, obviously. Like, I don't want to be unemployed. I need to find something that I can do to make a living. But in the same sense, like, I'm also at the point in my life where I'm like, I can be a little bit more picky, like I had a nest egg saved up. Like, so I wasn't desperate for a job, but I was also, I need to find something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't just need to be a job anymore. I want to find a career. Like, right. I want to find something where I can grow and be what I want to be and do what I want to do and be happy doing it. And like, you hear that saying all the time where people say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I used to hate that saying. I used to hate it because I was like, I never understood it. People would tell me that all the time. I'm like, no, work sucks. That's regardless. Why they call it work. Like, there's nothing fun about this. I fucking hate what I do. Work sucks. And then I got into trucking, and yeah, it was rough, like working on the training and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was rough at the beginning. But once I really got into the flow of it, I love what I do. Like, I really enjoy this. And now I understand that saying I used to hate. Now I understand it. Now I get when people tell me, oh yeah, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I'm like, yeah, I still feel like I work, but also I'm in the truck by myself. I get to blare my own music. Like I get to chill. I'm out on the road. Yeah, there's stupid ass drivers, but you're going to deal with that when you're commuting to work anyway. So, I deal with them more because my job is to drive, but I enjoy what I do. I like being out on the road. I like being in my own element. Like, I got this big truck. I like knowing that I'm a very punctual person. So I like knowing that, like, oh, these trailers need to be here by this time, and these trailers need to be here by this time, and know that I'm making those marks, and I'm making sure that, because I understand the process flow. Because of doing logistics, I get, like, if these trailers are late, it's not just, it's like everybody thinks like, oh, your trailers are late. That's not a big deal. Like, no, it is a big deal, because if your trailers are late, that means that these trailers are going to get processed late, which means, like, you guys see it all the time. Like, if you order something on Amazon or whatever website.
Yep. Had that happen to me already a couple of times this week.
You see it processes and says, like, oh, it's reached this town. And then it sits for a day before it says it's been leaving that town. Like, you're going like, what the fuck? Like, that could have been a day it's closer to me. Like, I could have had it a day sooner. Those trailers were probably late. Like, that's probably something where some like either like a truck breakdown or just a fucking lazy driver, like whatever it is, those trailers ended up being late. So now your package was supposed to be on here on Tuesday, but now we're hoping for Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Like everything gets pushed behind because there was a time slot that whatever company, whether it's Amazon, FedEx, UPS, Overstock.com, whatever, wherever it's coming from, like, they have time slots, and they're going, this trailer needs to show up no later than 1 o'clock. And if it doesn't show up by 1 o'clock, they have to assign that dock to do something else, like take care of a different trailer. Otherwise, they've got a worker that's just getting paid for doing nothing. So they got to assign another trailer. So now if another trailer gets put in that place, now all this stuff is getting working they're working another trailer, and then your trailer shows up later, and they might have already built out the schedule. So now your trailer that should have been unloaded at 1 o'clock isn't going to get unloaded until 8 o'clock.
Now it's back in the line.
Yeah. Now it's at the back of the line, and like if you deal with a company like FedEx or UPS or Amazon where they do their own deliveries too, 8 o'clock might be after all the vans are loaded. You know, so you might get that van that's loaded. They might finish loading vans at 6 o'clock, and they're all rolling out to go do their daily deliveries. So now that trailer's still sitting there, and it still hasn't been unloaded. And so when they do get it unloaded, now it's a day behind because now they got to keep all this stuff here for the following morning to get loaded.
And
you know, you got to make sure you stay on top of the punctuality of that kind of stuff.
And for you guys joining in right now, I just want to catch you guys up. If you just joining in the live, it's my friend Tristan. I'm in hometown. We're getting ready to celebrate New Year's, hanging out for the night. He is a FedEx driver, if you haven't figured that out. He's a FedEx driver. He's also a 1-year rookie. Just right.
Yep.
He's a 1-year vet right now. He started just before me. One of the reasons I got my license when I did. So he's sharing his story. I figure it was a very good interview that I want to do for you guys to share his story. He also does something that I don't do. I don't do doubles and triples. He does doubles and triples. He's going to get into that in a minute.
I don't do triples because I'm here in California.
Right. But he has a double and triple endorsement. So we can talk about how to get that endorsement and how hard or how easy it was for him. But he's sharing his story on that. So that's what we're talking about. So if you are thinking of getting into your CDL, you can watch it on the replay on how he got it and what process he went through and his opinion on that. Make sure if you have any questions, make sure to put it on the comments. We'll try to answer as we catch up. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments. So I'm having a little conversation with Leonard here
about being
semi-retired. Let us have a little semi-retired here. So another Cali homie. We don't have a time limit on this live, guys. We're just really enjoying the evening and enjoying our company. And I wanted to share his story because it's totally different. It's semi-different than mine. Go ahead. Yeah. No.
You want me to top that off?
Top it off again. So we got IPAs. We both IPA lovers. Hey, what we might have to do before we end the chat, the live, is I gotta open those IPAs I brought in from Montana.
Okay, we'll do that after this.
I've been having 2 IPA cans holding up in the fridge for friggin' month and a half or something, waiting to get home and share with my man here. So
all right, well, I'll remember. We'll open them after this.
Yeah, we'll definitely open after this. But we're hoping you're having a good home time. You're enjoying the live. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button. I should appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Let me catch up to the comments here. Anybody have any comments or questions so far for Tristan? Make sure to go ahead and post. I want you guys to chat. If you feel that you want to have a live phone call conversation with us for New Year's, let me know in the chat, and I will go ahead and post a phone number if you any of you guys are interested in where you can call. But for right now, just put your question in the chat for me, you guys. But that's what we're chatting about on it. Let me catch up on some. Leonard put on here. Okay, what's the draft for? Quick Did I say that properly? Quick Read in SAC. But I'm saying retire.
Concrete company, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're gonna have to explain what the fuck semi-retired means.
Yeah, what the fuck that means? What is semi-retired? I'll explain that because I've heard that a lot.
That was a yes or no question.
Right? If retired, not retired. Explain what semi-retired means, because I've heard that a lot also in the industry where some driver says like, oh, I want to get into trucking because I want to kind of semi-retire early.
Yeah.
You know, so explain that to us. Come on, explain that to us. Let us know what that means. Oh, turbo.
There's meat on the smoker.
If you wonder what turbo is this girl. That's her nickname is Turbo. Why is her nickname Turbo on the live?
No, I call everybody Turbo. Her special nickname is Thumper, but
oh yeah,
I don't know if I can I don't know if I can explain why her nickname is Thumper. So
you guys let your imagination run for that one. Let your imagination run on that. But
whatever you're thinking in your head is probably right. That's probably right. Just roll with that.
but that's what we're sharing now. So you got your license.
So you're actually retired now. I don't know what the semi meant before. So you used to
yeah. Hold on.
But now you're like fully retired.
You switched the last part of the sentence. So are you? So you're retired now. All right. I was wondering what semi-retired meant, but it's all cool. We'll bring the gangs. We'll bring our girls, and we'll bring our visitors here in the live at the end. And we'll say happy all New Year's to you guys. I'll be that. Get them on the live show. That'll be good. So you got your license. And you went through a third-party company, so you didn't go through a major a mega carrier like I did to start, even though I didn't go with that mega carrier and I ended up financing it on my own. Yeah, go ahead and adjust it as you need to, brother.
I'm just gonna play with it the whole time here.
Yeah. You can just mute it and raise it up. Yeah, I know it's a little.
Oh, you want me to mute it when I do that? I was just
because it'll sound it'll
hear too many sounds to it.
Yeah. So
I feel like
it's just that thing over there. It's that little screw. Yeah. This is a live show. I'm testing some new stuff too, guys. So I'll give it bad reviews and get some new. So you guys probably hear that. No, that's the loosen part.
I just loosened it?
Yeah. You went back.
So I gotta turn it towards me?
Towards you to tighten, away from you to. I think I'm right. No, that was that loosen.
Fuck it. I knew I had
just tighten the crap out of it. That mic's a little heavy. That's what it is. I got very good quality mics, but that little stand I got on his side is a little. I got it for the truck guys. So when I do the lives on the truck, I'm trying to get big stuff. There we go. We're set now.
Yeah,
all right, there we go.
Can I?
There you go.
Now I can talk
Sorry,
again.
I'm having this conversation with him while I got his chat on mute, so you guys can't hear it.
They probably still hear me through the other mic.
Okay. But anyway, so you got your license. You went through a third party company. Got your license.
They call them CDL mills out here. I don't know if
CDL mills.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they call them elsewhere, but literally,
first time I heard of it.
It literally what it is it's a dirt lot where they literally teach you how to pass your CDL license, and that is it.
That is it.
Like it's not the on the road. You don't get the you don't get the 3 months out with the driver or the three weeks out with a trainer. None of that shit. Like they have 3 or 4 trucks that aren't road legal out on a dirt lot.
Okay.
And you learn how to do the maneuvers in those. They teach you the pre-trip in and out.
Yeah.
And then they take you on a quick trip so you make sure that you're a safe driver. And then they book you an appointment at the DMV. So
basically, they teach you the basics for you to get your license. Yeah. Now, I would just kind of share the difference. I went first initially to go through Swift, which you watch the channel for a while know that. No, we got to change audio if you want that. Like you go here.
No, it's fine.
You can do that. I let him play with it. He's playing with my soundboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the volume.
You were gonna say you were gonna go through Swift.
Yeah. I know some of you guys will say that. So I was doing that. He memorized. He definitely memorized the sound pads. He sure did.
I knew where it was.
You know what it was. What was that? Hold on. I see comments and it scrolled me. If you don't get all of you. What was that, Mike? Explain that yourself right there. Hopefully you hear everything fine if it's audio, but I had his muted for a second.
Open the vent all the way.
But I went through a mega carrier, so training, even though they have their own school.
Okay.
They have their own school, which is California. It was California Commercial something school. I don't even remember.
Yeah, California CDL Services is who I went through.
Well, I went through in LA. I went to Fontana, which is Swift school that they use, but they're also in. He's gonna enjoy that. I'm loving it. And then went out and did that. Now, it took me longer because once I decided to go on my own. Right before I went to Swift orientation, I had to spend 2 more weeks there to do the manual class with them, where they felt comfortable enough that I could drive the manual to take the CDL directly with the DMV. So
Okay.
because
Okay.
they have their own DMV certified people, they'll do the test there. They work for the school,
Okay.
but they can do the
So you never
certified.
actually had to go to the DMV.
No, I
Like
went to the DMV.
Came to you.
No. I went to DMV, but if you went
Oh.
through the Swift program, they do it right there in their area. So it's
Oh, okay.
so they have their own little area. If you went independent with the school, you had to go to the DMV, and one of the DMV examiners, just like when you get your card license, examines you.
Okay.
If you're at the school, it's one of their guys to examine you. But he or she is not part of the training process.
Okay. Okay.
But they work for the school. They only do the testing part.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked. But because I went from doing school to go into the DMV, I could go manual instead of doing the automatic restriction.
Right.
So then I did the manual transmission. I didn't have to deal with no restriction on my license, but also give me the opportunity to go anywhere I want to, work wise. Right. So you want
to most companies are switching to automatics anyways.
Yep.
But if you have the option, if you know you can handle a stick shift, it's probably just better to go ahead and get.
Yeah, because getting off that restriction is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because I don't even know what you have to do to. I would assume you have to retest all.
Yeah, you have to retest. You have to basically retest on a manual transmission.
Yeah. See, like you if you really want to go through that whole process all over again, then yeah, go for it. But if you know you can handle a stick shift, I mean, the truck stick shifts are actually easier than a car stick shift. Because once you get moving, you just float through the gears and you don't have to use a clutch anymore.
Yeah.
So you might as well, like, if you know you can handle the stick, just go ahead and do it. Get that license with no restrictions, so you can go wherever it is you want to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch up to your comments, guys. Is over there, Paul, Leonard. I know you comment, and Michael. I'll catch up to that in a second. I just don't want to take traction here, but yeah, it's definitely easier. It took a second. It takes a second. If you've never driven a truck, it's a little different, but it takes a second. But that's the difference. Now you went through, like I said, you went through a smaller school. You said it was a dirt road.
Yes. I just want to speak on Michael's comments right here.
Endorsement.
That's a very, very good point, Michael.
Let's get on it.
If you get your license and you don't do any of your endorsements, or you only do one endorsement or two endorsements, if you come back to get your license, like if you come back to get another endorsement, like let's say you get your license and you get your hazmat endorsement, and then you drive for a year, and then you go, oh, you know what? This company doesn't have the 50-foot tanker anymore, or whatever. They need me to do doubles, or they need me to do tankers now. So now you got to go back and get your endorsement for that particular thing, whether it's doubles, tankers, or both. If you have already had your license for a year,
you have to go back.
You retest on all of that now.
That's me. I'm gonna have to end up going through that because of COVID. Thank you, COVID. F you, COVID. F you, COVID. Because when I was here when I got shot, I was here for those 4 months for home time. I was trying to get an appointment to do my hazmat and stuff during that time, and I couldn't because of all the shutdown crap.
Yep.
All right, guys. That should be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rico. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I still got a nope, not yet.
All right, how about now? Just let us know. See your thumbs up and we'll continue. I apologize for that, but I have a little USB adapter here that kind of messed up on me, so I went straight into it.
I don't even know where we left off. What's the last thing they heard?
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Rico.
Cool.
Thank you. So, where we left off, as far as
I don't know what's the last thing they heard.
Sure, what's the last thing you heard, guys? Let us know what's the last thing you heard, because now we're kind of lost. It's a live show, man. It's a live show. All right, yeah, I like that. He got more muscle than I do. You gotta show off, man. You gotta show off. Hey, Tom and Jerry.
I'm not even showing the tattoo side.
Well, not me either. Mine's all covered up. And you wonder why I like Wolf Rider? Look. Oh, damn. I'm gonna keep mine down. Oh God. The retesting. How about now? We got it.
Okay, talking about endorsements and retesting.
All right,
okay.
Thanks. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So, yeah, you do have to just kind of shut that question. You do have to retest. If it's over a year, for 9 times out of 10, you will have to test everything like you did in the beginning. And I know in California, I personally will have to do that when I decide to get my hazmat. It's not that I haven't wanted to; it's just COVID has really pushed that back here in Cali. So that sucks. Yep. That part sucks. So, but okay. So let's continue. So you got your license.
Yep.
You pay for your school, because he paid for his school, right?
Right.
A smaller school.
Out of pocket to go to the school that I went to.
And how much it cost you to that school?
It was about $2,000. Can't remember the exact numbers, because they told me a couple different numbers. That like if I paid up front, it was one number. If I had to be on a payment plan, it was another. And I want to say by the time I finished, it ended up being $2,000. I was only there for a week. Like I burned through the program because I've driven with trailers before, so I already knew the basic functions. And then they basically taught me, like I already knew how to straight back. I kind of knew how to alley dock already, and they kind of like just refined that and showed me a better way to do it. They showed me how to offset. They showed me how to parallel park. And then they showed me the pre-trip, and then I went out on a couple. It ended up only being one day where I went out and just practice drove. And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you get it," because they have you out there driving with like a 24-foot flatbed, like nothing.
Yeah, the smallest ones.
Yeah.
Which I always thought when I was taking my test in my 53-footer, and I saw the small trailers, like, you motherfuckers.
Yep.
You get to do that so easier with that. Now I know it's because they turn faster, so it's pro and con, because they do turn faster when you're doing reverse.
Right.
They turn faster, where the 53-footer takes a second, so it gives you a little bit of more time to correct.
But when you're working with the 53, like once it starts to turn, like you almost have to start correcting right then and there. Like with the like I work on 28s the most. So like when I'm driving a 28, like if I'm backing that up, when it starts to move in the other direction that I'm directing it, I don't have to react as quick as I do.
So we have to, yeah.
Because like with the 53, if you turn to the left, trailer's going to go to the right. And so if you see it going to the right, like you're probably already too late, and you have to start going back in the other direction.
Yeah, or reset again.
Yeah. But with the 28, I can turn to the left, and when it's going to the right, I can let it follow that route for a little bit, and then start to correct it and bring it back to where I need to. Like the 53s, you can get away with a little bit more, because just the way that the design, the landing gears further back, so you can really jackknife a 53 and then straighten it out and get it where.
Now that's a box though. You can't jackknife a spread axle.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can't jackknife, for those of you guys, and you guys going into Melton or flatbedding.
They're talking about losing audio again.
Yeah. Can you guys confirm if you lost it or not lost it?
Or if you gained it back again.
Or you get it back again? Because I got mixed messages here.
Yeah.
Michael says, the heck with hazmat. Well, that all depends. It's actually a benefit to have it. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt. You also got to get your fingerprinting, which you have to pay for, and it takes about 30 days for you to get that. I want to get it not necessarily for what I do right now in the company that I work with, which is Small and Truck Lines. You get a little bit of extra pay when you do hazmat pay, but yet it's a little more of a hassle, hazmat routes, and you have to know what you're carrying and placards and all that kind of stuff. Um, Now I'll give you. You can hear us. Thank you, Paul. Um, I'll give you this information if you're going to Melton or Flatbed or any company. Even if you do not have your hazmat endorsement, you can carry up to
Limited
1,000 pounds of
quantities,
hazmat
Yep.
in on a load. So if you have 1,000 or less, you do not need your hazmat endorsement. You do not have to placard
You
those
don't have
loads
to placard
either,
it either. Yep.
but you have to be aware that you have that on your truck. So
Yeah.
and the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So um it doesn't mean because I've seen it. I had the same question when I got given the first hazmat load. It was very small, and I was like, "Hey, this is hazmat. I don't got my hazmat." And company had explained to me, "Yeah, it's only a couple 100 pounds. So you don't need your endorsement for that."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
It falls under the limited quantity rules.
yeah,
So
so you don't need to have that for now. So somebody's house leaving, so I'll give a shout out, Michael. You're heating out, T. E. God bless you. Have a safe night. Thank you, brother.
all right, brother.
See you soon. We'll chat. He's one of the brothers I spoke to on Instagram. Actually, I chatted him the other day because he had a question. I was like, on the A2 split, and I was like, let me call you rather than trying to type it up. So thanks, man. Have a good night. Happy New Year's. Say hello to the wife for me. But yeah, so endorsements, I think they're important. I think you should get them because it opened doors for you.
It does.
If you really don't want to do any of them and you don't plan to do any of them, okay, that's yes, your choice to do that. But in the process of it can open doors for you if you need to move. It gives you more opportunity, more open doors. So think about it as class A is one door. If you have your hazmat or your doubles and triples like Tristan does, then it's another door that opens. Has your hazmat, it's another door that opens. I know, Paul, I didn't miss your question here that you asked if you need to care of that, brother, you can go ahead. If I think the cost of the TWIC card, I didn't miss that question, Paul. I got you. If you're still here, do you feel that it's worth getting the TWIC card? Yes, I think it's worth it. I do plan to get it this year. Again, I haven't had it here in California because the way things are, but I'm gonna get it out of Tulsa because I can get it out of there with all my info. So I think it is a benefit. The TWIC card is a benefit. I don't know if you have had to handle TWIC cards. The TWIC card basically is an ID you get through the government that you can go to. What's the word?
Like transportation workers identification.
So yeah, but you can go to what's the word in my head? The ports. So you can go to the ports without an escort.
Yep.
Because I've gone to a couple of ports that they are not very picky and they don't care about me not having a TWIC card. But I've been to one port in the East Coast that the company had to pay. Well, I had to pay it. How did it work out? Basically, I had to pay it, but the company had to pay $150 to have somebody that had a TWIC card in the area, which is there are companies of people that have to escort me in and out of the port for me to get that load.
Jesus. Okay.
And so it was about $150.
Yeah.
So either I paid it or the company paid it. I mean, either way, however you want to, but they basically will cover it. But it's $150 that comes out of their pocket for somebody just to escort you.
Yep.
So if you have the TWIC card, you don't have to worry about escort. Is it worth it? It's mostly not having the hassle of having to go through waiting for somebody to have to escort you there because it will make your day a little bit longer. And it did for me that day. So
yeah, if you're dealing with docks and ports a lot,
yeah, and Paul said it right there.
Definitely gonna make it worth it.
Yeah. So
I don't deal with those. I don't have my TWIC card. With my position, I literally just bounce back and forth between FedEx facilities. So I don't have the TWIC card. I literally just have my doubles, triples endorsement.
Yeah. So all right. So you got your license. Let's get back to the story here. So you got your license. What was your thought process about what were you going to do for work? Were you thinking OTR or you always how that thought process and how you got your first gig happen.
Okay. So I got my license and I thought that was going to be the big door opening and I was going to get whatever I wanted. Like I'm a fucking truck driver now. And that is not how that works out. I got my license and I started reaching out to exactly. I got my license.
And he got this.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. I reached out to all these different companies and I was like, hey, Rayleigh's, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, fucking Quick Read that was just brought up earlier. Like I reached out to all these different companies. I'm like, I've got my CDL. Like I'm here. And they're like, well, what's your experience? I'm like, oh, well, I just got it. And they're like, well, what school did you come out of? And I told them what school I came out of. And they weren't having it. They want people that have experience already. They want you to go wreck somebody else's truck and get the experience and then come out and work for them. So I it got frustrating again. Like it got to the point where I was like, maybe I just wasted this money. Maybe it wasn't worth it, and then I got somebody gave me a call and they're like, hey, we're willing to interview you. Here's what it is. Like you're going to need your doubles endorsement. And I'm like, well, I don't have my doubles endorsement. I literally just have my CDL. And they're like, all right, well, how quick can you get your doubles endorsement? Like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't studied for it at all, but I can get it pretty quick. Like if you're telling me you got a job for me, I'm going to go get it, Yeah. And they're like, all right, well, go get your doubles and then give us a call back. I'm like, all right. So like that happened on like, we're going to call it a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then like studying my ass off Tuesday, Wednesday, went in Thursday, took the test, got my doubles.
Nice.
Just right then. Called him Thursday. I'm like, hey, you said to give you a call when I got my doubles endorsement. He's like, yeah. So when you do that, let me know. I'm like, no. This is the call. I've got my doubles. He's like, he's like, oh, you got it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I got my doubles. He's like, oh, that was quick. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you told me you needed it. I'm trying to do what I can with this license. I don't want the money I just spent on this to be waste. Like I want this to work. And he's like, all right, well, he's like, what's your experience with driving? I'm like, I mean, I drive cars. I drive a pickup truck. Like I haven't driven these very long. He's like, oh, well, it requires a 1-year experience here. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have that. He's like, well, okay, well, let me see what I can do, but I don't think we can hire you without experience. So I'm back at square one going, okay, now I just wasted more money because I just paid to go get my doubles endorsement.
Because he didn't tell you that you needed
the 1-year experience. He didn't tell me about the experience. Yeah. And then so I walked away from it and I was like, okay, well, this sucks. I just spent more money, even though endorsements aren't that expensive. Like I think maybe it was $30 in my doubles. So, but it had me down in the dumps again. I'm going, all right, maybe this wasn't the right, maybe this wasn't the right choice. Maybe I need to go back and do logistics or customer service. Like it's just, this isn't going to work out, and then a couple of days later, dude calls me back and he goes, hey, look, we're willing to give you a shot, but you're going to have to come in and interview. And then once we get you to interview, then we'll see. I'm like, all right, so I go in, do the interview, fucking crush the interview because I can talk to anybody, So I go in there, crush the interview, and he's like, you know what? We're willing to give you a shot. Like here's what you're looking at. Like it's gonna be, you're gonna be working nights, you're gonna be working doubles. Like, are you okay with that? I'm like, yeah, it's a job. Like, let's do this, So they got me in there, and finally, like sucks with FedEx because their process to approve a driver, it's like a month and a half. Like
really?
it took a long time.
Really?
Like
wow. I didn't know it's that long.
Yeah. It's because they do the background check, they do all that other stuff, and then it got to the point where I was thinking that he was moving on to another driver, or he just didn't have, the balls to call me to say, hey, you didn't get it. So like it had been a while, and I'm hitting him up going like, hey, have you heard anything? And he's like, no, I haven't heard anything yet. I'm like, I'm starting to think you're just kind of
BS him into that.
you're
Yeah.
pushing me under the rug and hoping I'm just gonna stop calling, you know. And then eventually he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you found another position, but you got approved by FedEx, like you can come and work here." I was like, "No," I'm like you were the shot, like I got, like you were the only one. That everybody else.
You never looked for any. Did you look anywhere else?
I looked at other places, but every other place was telling me, I was gonna have to go do OTR, where I'm gonna be out on the road for a month at a time, and I'm gonna get 2-3 days at home. I'm like, I've got motorcycles and a rent. That doesn't work for me. You know, I don't want to. I'm not gonna pay to live here if I'm only here 3 days out of the month.
So you never got the.
Those were the times I told her to grab the first time,
right.
just for the record.
So you never got in your mindset. You never got the license thinking I have to go OTR.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Did you do any research? I know I'm kind of going back a little bit, but did you do any research into what society or whatever jobs expect for you when you get your license, or you just decided I'm gonna get my license and then see what happens?
I did minimal research. Like I could have done more, but from what I understood, it made it look like the local delivery jobs were the starting point.
Hold on, can you show that over here? Come on, bring it over. Bring it over, Thumper. I'm gonna teach you guys with this one, but this is what's been in the smoker.
That's the pork butt that just came off. Yeah.
God bless.
I like playing with his butt.
Did the other short ribs get pulled off?
I know.
Okay,
we're gonna eat good tonight. But
really,
we gotta listen to the ladies. This is whole life.
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna ask you guys to all to come out towards the end to say Happy New Year's to the crowd. All right?
Is there space for it in the oven right now? No. Well, fuck.
You need to do something with it.
They needed me to carve it to see if it's it's done.
I like a heavy operator. He also drove. We can always include another guest.
Yeah, he did. He drove a bulldozer and an
But-
excavator.
I don't talk very well.
Ah, come on. We'll let introduce, but he has to go do a little meat packing.
Yeah.
I'll answer some questions over here. Some meat cutting.
No, yeah.
He needs to go cut his meat.
Shit.
Go cut your meat, Tristan.
All right. I will be back.
You'll be back.
I swear.
Yeah.
I will finish my story and I will answer questions.
Yes.
You're gonna get somebody who's whiter than me on the line right now.
Yes. All right. So as he gets,
you're not gonna come over here. Come over here.
Come on. I put you over here. Come on.
He'll ask
So-
you questions. You can do whatever.
Yeah. So this is a family event. So as he gets over there, just we'll go back to Tristan's story. So the viewers are looking over. If you want to look, just get close to the mic. They're there. Don't worry. Don't get all nervous. He's red already.
I turned big red.
Yeah. So Tristan is what we call an Oreo. So he's big and dark on the outside, but he's white on the inside. So
I call him a dilly bar.
this guy. So we're doing a little pause on the trucking part of it for a little bit, and we're gonna talk because this guy is one of his best friends, if not the best friend. I don't know. I've been meeting a
We've
little
known
bit.
each other for a long time.
You know each other for a long time. So go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Just introduce to the guys, the crowd. This camera, if you want to look straight at it, it takes a minute to get used to, but tell us what you do.
I'm Dusty. I've been a heavy equipment operator my whole life. Been in the union for almost 18 years. So I've been around trucking and all that for a long time. I actually drove, but I don't have my license.
Yeah, I should have drove.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, I ran a semi-bottom 42-foot off-road for a couple of years. So, but not on-road. But yeah, I operate just about any kind of a piece of equipment you can throw at me.
Not this butt. That butt.
All right.
The other one.
So you get a lot of truck now. You we spoke earlier. It's house we met. That's the first time me and Dusty.
Yeah.
Say properly. Dusty met. Um, you work out of state, so you live in California, but you work out of state most of the time, right?
I work wherever work is. Usually, I can
Okay.
bounce from. Mostly, I try to stay in California because I got my daughter, but right now I'm working southeast Arizona on the border wall and demoing that and constructing that there. But I do everything from demo work to grading roads, building pads, underground work for sewage. I've done a little bit of everything. Like I said, I've been around the industry for a while now. Um,
So when you deal with truck drivers, as far as carrying part of the equipment that you operate, um,
I unload a lot of trucks. Well, actually, for 2 years with the company I'm in now, I basically was the logistics loadout or unload. So basically, every truck that came onto the job site, flatbeds, step decks, low beds, anything that needed to be unloaded, I ran a 966 loader with a 20,000-pound capacity, and I would unload the trucks or load the trucks with the rebar or whatever materials we had coming into the job sites.
cool.
So I'm kind of on the other end of what you guys bring the material into us, and we use the material. So,
So what's your thought process about truckers?
um, as far as far as flatbed truck drivers and that, I don't really have a problem with them. Low bed truck drivers don't have a problem with them. You start getting into double bottom dumps and trucks like that, it's usually a bunch
Ooh,
of idiot
deliver to
drivers.
me. Look at that. Got some of that butt right there for you. Look how nice and cooked that is. Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Mm. Damn. Damn. Oh, this is awesome. I love his meat all the time. Got no idea why I come here.
Nice and juicy.
That's very juicy. It's nice and moist.
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 Yeah.
Go
But
ahead,
yeah,
Jessica.
no, as far as truck drivers goes, I don't really have a problem with them. I just here in California we get a lot of unexperienced drivers that just it seems like they're not there. They're not paying attention to their job. You know, and
Okay.
like with a semi bottom, they're hauling anywhere from aggregate base, usually aggregate base onto a roadway and it a lot of the times it just doesn't seem like they're paying attention to what's going on the job site. They just show up, I'm here, and then I've had them literally dump 500 feet away from where I need them to dump.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I'm going over there chasing the dirt, trying to pick it up and bring it over to where I need it. You know, so, but that's just an experience thing, really, because it's usually, I've noticed that usually it's the double bottoms and that are usually newer drivers.
All right.
So,
How many of a drivers, if you say, is easier to get in that type of work, as far as what you know of?
to get into it,
Yeah.
I don't really see it being too big of a problem. It's more of a seasonal kind of thing because we work seasonally. We don't usually this time of year. I'm usually not working. Happen to be that I'm down in the desert right now, so we don't have to deal with the rain or anything like that down there. So I'm still working pretty steady right now. But um, it's you can get a lot of work in a lot of hours running aggregate materials and that. Like so, like the asphalt jobs and stuff like that. They've got to get it done in a certain amount of time. So they'll run 12, 14-hour shifts nonstop, just as many loads as they can carry it in a night.
Okay.
And then of course you've got, you know, you're weaving in and out of crunch. I mean, you guys have all driven through the construction sites and out
Yep.
on the highways and that. I mean, imagine trying to go from 55, 60 miles an hour to diving off onto a construction site with cars up your ass. I mean, pretty sure you guys have all come across it. You know, it can get
Fuck
pretty,
yeah!
it's a totally different animal compared to just carrying freight across the country.
Yeah.
You know, you've got, you know, you're not necessarily on road, you're working in the dark, driving into areas that you don't necessarily know what you're driving into, potholes, scrap steel, whatever you may find on the ground and that. And then your loads are, I guess I can hear myself in the microphone.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and then your loads vary too. Like one thing I've heard from other drivers, and that is, you know, if you go in and get loaded, they put all the load on one side of the truck. And if you aren't experienced enough, I've watched guys flop the trucks right over.
Wow.
Because they'll get loaded heavy to one side, and then they'll take a corner with the load heavy on that side and
There
flop
he
it
goes.
right over. Because it's not, like going in and get your flatbed loaded. They center the weight wherever it needs to be. You know exactly, put exactly how you want it on that truck. Where, I guess the mega dumps or whatever, where you got the 4-axle trucks and they've got the long boxes.
Yeah.
If you load those heavy to the back, then it's going to screw with your steering and all that. But it's all basically depends on how you get loaded. It can vary a lot when it comes to material, and then your material can shift as well. So I mean, if it peaks up in the center, you go around a corner, it'll shift off to the side. Yeah. So, but
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and then like I deal with I load a lot of equipment onto the 9-axle trucks and the bigger trucks and that to haul it off. Actually, I have to dig it up. Maybe I'll send it to you. I think I have a little bit of video of us. We had a motor grader break down, burn up the motor or something like that, and we had to drag it up onto a low bed truck and use 2 excavators, one picking up the ass end of it, and then I was in one other hoe on the front of it, dragging it up onto the trailer.
Wow.
And
Yeah, let's see that. If you can send it to me, that would be awesome. I'll share with these guys.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it varies. I've done just about everything when it comes to construction. I'm working on the wall now, but the next job I'm planning on going to is up in South Oregon, Northern California. It's supposed to be demoing 4 dams.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of trucking coming out of there. Because we're going to have to haul all that material out. It's demo them out, not rebuilding them. It's a restoration project to get the river to flow better and the fish habitat and so on and so forth. The dams aren't really being used or whatnot. So all that material, concrete and everything's going to end up having to be trucked out of there. And I can't remember what the cubic yardage was, but it was up over several million cubic yards of material that's going to end up having to come out of there.
Awesome. That sounds pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool. Hey, Leonard, just real quick. Happy New Year, man. Thanks for coming to the live. Make sure to share, hit that like. I know you already did, brother, but recommend have fun in Woodland, neighbor. Be fun. Appreciate it, man. No, that's pretty cool. I've always thought, I mean, a lot of flatbed trucking guys that want to go into flatbed usually think about hauling heavy equipment, which is what you operate for the most part. So it's always cool to kind of hear. I mean, it's cool that I know you. I met you to Tristan, and I have somebody I can ask. Hey, man, you know anybody? Networking. Everything networking. In the future, you never know. Being out on the road. So this is why I love doing this.
Well, and the networking too it's a real big thing. I just think in the trade industry in general. I'm coming up on 18 years in the union. I've been doing this, and one thing that I've noticed over the years is I've got to know more people. So I'm getting phone calls for work without even looking for it. Right. Because I know these people and they know that I'm a good operator, so on and so forth. So they're calling me like, hey, I've got a job. Do you want to do it? So that's where that networking comes in. So I've got phone numbers in my phone with people that I don't even talk to on a regular basis, but I keep their numbers. And if a job comes up and I need an operator that can do this or whatever, I'll call them and like, hey, they're looking for this guy, and you want to come do it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where, granted, I change jobs usually every year, at least once a year. I'll finish a job, get laid off at the end of the season, and pick up another job, or, shortly after that. Yeah. So like usually this time of year right now, I'm usually not working. I have moved up from operating to foreman. So I've been running a 25-man crew this whole season. So that's part of the reason why I haven't got laid off. But I just recently in the last month laid off half my crew, more than half my crew. I'm down to 7 guys total, 2 laborers and 5 operators.
So is it definitely a seasonal type work?
Yeah. Well, imagine trying to build something out of mud. You can't do it. We build grade. We'll build it up, compact it down, and then cut it out. You can't cut shapes basically out of mud. It just falls apart. So whenever it starts raining, especially here in California, we don't get a whole lot of rain here in California, but we get enough to where you just can't build anything with it. So
cool. You got more meat for us?
Hi, everybody. I'm back. I'm giving the meat. This is tri-tip.
Ooh, dry tip. Look at that.
It's been,
and y'all can focus right there. Focus. Dry tip. You get ready. You coming in this live too, surely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to the ladies. Mm-hmm. It's New Year's.
Hey, that's how I felt.
All right. Oh my God. What did you put on this thing? Oh, Yeah. And the flavor, I got the little spiciness, little pepper type kick behind. Mm.
Well, that and you always get that smoke flavor too.
Yeah.
That little bit of smoke flavor is just amazing. I ended up I didn't go quite as I got a Traeger a couple months ago, so that's pretty good.
Awesome meat. Awesome meat. Definitely. You missed the sound effect, but yeah, awesome meat. You can watch it on the replay. No, but it's pretty cool. I hope you guys I know there's a couple of you guys still watching, but we're gonna stay live here. You know, it's what it is. You can watch it on the replay. We'll get Tristan back in a little bit. He's tasting his meat. He's testing his own work. You guys stay safe, enjoying it, but we're gonna stay here for you. Anybody who wants to stay on and chit chat or whatever, or watching a replay tomorrow when you wake up from the drinks. It is what it is. Where we're chilling, but no, I always wonder what I know a couple of friends that duff flatbed that decided they wanted to be, in their case, I guess, home more. So they went from trucking into working with a local company as an operator / driver.
And you can do that. Like I just got a couple of job offers. We have the big fires here in California and that, so we have fire cleanups.
Okay.
And I've done that the last few years. I actually got a job offer to go up, it's 40-minute drive from my house instead of 1,000 miles away. Right now I'm working 1,000 miles away, and it all depends. Like you can stay local. Like I could go work for the county as an equipment operator, but I'm going to top out at a salary of like 50,000 a year. And you do the same thing every day. You show up at the same place. And I've always been more like a gypsy. It's like growing up, I went to 14 different schools and I changed jobs.
I'm into that.
I've worked just about everywhere you can work in Northern California and Northern Nevada, just all over the place. And one thing I love about it is I can drive through anywhere and been like, okay, I helped build that. I've worked on that. I've got, it's especially with getting the years under my belt now, you can drive through just about any town now, and I've worked on something in that town. A lot of the bigger cities in that too, and a lot of bigger projects I'm real proud to say that I've worked on the border wall. Not too many people can say that.
Really?
But yeah. So I mean that, and then if any of you guys are familiar with California, we had that big 3 years ago. We had the spillway emergency where we evacuated 500,000 people or so.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Yeah, and so as bad as it sounds, as soon as that happened, all I saw was money. I started making phone calls, and a week after that whole incident happened, I was up there working, rebuilding that.
Nice.
So, that was one of the biggest concrete jobs. That was one of the biggest concrete
Cornish
jobs.
hens.
Cornish hen.
Is it what?
Cornish hen.
Game hen.
Chicken essentially.
Mini chicken.
Oh. Mm.
But I'm one of the I'm more of one of the operators that I chase the money. Like I could work for a local company out of my hometown, be home every night. But like I said, it's like you end up kind of doing the same stuff, working with the same people over and over every day. And to me, it gets old. Yeah. It gets old really quick. So these bigger jobs are a lot faster pace. There's a lot more going on, and it just the hours and the money's better, so it all depends on what you're looking for. I'm a younger guy. The only thing I have holding me down is my 10-year-old daughter, which I do everything I can to make it back home to spend time with her, which sacrifices my social life, which, I mean, me and Tristan have known each other for I don't know, coming up on 20 years, I think. And I haven't seen him in a year. Like I think I stopped by once 6 months ago for maybe an hour or so, said hi, hung out, and then bailed. But this is the first time I've hung out with him in a year. So my social life is out the window, but I love what I do. I've been doing it my whole life, but I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Yeah. And it's a proud accomplishment too, to work with your hands and do something and build something, rather than I could never see myself sitting at a desk pushing paperwork. Could you sit at a desk?
Partially I did, but no, I didn't like doing it either. Yeah. That's I like to be out. I like to be about. It's what I love what I'm doing. But I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I had detailing business, do photography and videos. So yeah, I just never like to be tied down to a four wall place where you're just kind of stuck and uh you don't see life going by you. I mean,
Yeah.
some people, hey, we need those people definitely, but that wasn't definitely not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then, one other thing too is like that's happening right now is like prime example. I've got a 10-year-old daughter, and all she can think about is going to college. And I keep telling her, I was like, or you could go to a trade school.
Right.
It's like,
Which has been a big thing in the last decade or so.
well, and what a lot of people don't realize too is like for anybody that's looking into getting into truck driving or any kind of trade for that matter, whether it be plumbing, electrician, operator, truck driver, whatever it may be. I've got a few friends that have master's degrees.
Okay.
Went to school for 7, 8 years and have matched masters or bachelors or whatever, and I make twice as much as they do. So it's like everybody's like, oh, you got to have a college degree to actually make any money or go anywhere in this life, and that is not true at
Yeah.
all. Not
Yeah.
at all. If you push yourself, and I mean, you guys may start out like Tristan. I believe you own your own truck or
No, I don't own my truck. I'm a company driver.
okay. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you guys push and strive,
Yeah,
you
that
get
is
up
part of the
owning your
goal.
own truck, and you can expand quite a bit. Like actually, my retirement is to I'll be able to retire from the union at 55 years old at 37 years in. So what I plan on doing at that point in time is buying a water truck, and then it's a seasonal type of job. And then so if I really want to go out and work, I can go out and work for the summertime, run the truck, and if I don't feel like working, I park the truck. But I mean, it's actually water trucking is actually pretty easy, and you can make a lot of money doing it.
Really?
Like these fire cleanups, they're paying their water trucks 120 an hour. Granted, those are owner operated water trucks, but they're making 120 an hour for just to run a water truck, and all you're doing is running by and filling up other water trucks. Or
Might be a boat in the middle of that. Just be careful. These are pork shoulders.
Pork shoulder.
Yeah.
Pork shoulder, guys. Mm.
smorgasbord.
It's so
Yeah.
all the listeners know.
Yeah.
Because like some guys, some dude earlier was like, oh, you're like,
Don't want to forget. I think you already left, Paul, but Happy New Year. Thanks for being part of the show. Mm. Wow, that's good.
Like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, he left. He gave you the bone. He gave me the soft one. I'm missing a few teeth.
Well, speaking of missing teeth, there's a burger stand down there where I'm.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. There we go. If you guys lost me for a second, that was Tristan's fault.
I'll take the blame. That's fine.
Let's blame it on Tristan. That was Tristan's fault. He hit the board. But we're back. We're just testing some of his meat still. No, I like that's another thing I do like OTR driving out. Even though I'm a company driver, I don't get bothered for anything. A lot of there's I know you're not like 100% full into it, but like a lot of truck drivers feel like if they're company drivers, the company's bugging you or is talking to you or whatever. It's all you got somebody to respond. But I have not experienced that at all. It's like I'm on my own. It's 90% like that's my truck.
Well, I mean, to an extent, your job is simple as far as orders go. You know,
Yeah.
you get it,
Pick
like,
up and deliver.
Pick up at this destination, drop it off at this destination. As long as you're making your times and getting there and not getting pulled over, not getting in accidents and all that, they're probably going to leave you alone, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that's pretty much it. It's, you know,
and I mean, that's kind of the same scenario in my instance. You know, like my higher up people, they leave me alone, where some of the other foremen and that out there will get harassed more. And I'll hear they're like, oh, that guy's a dick. And I was like, well, if you just do your job and make your budget, because I mean, I don't have to make my times, but I have to make budget. I have to do a certain amount of work and a certain amount of time to make the company money.
right.
And that's
That makes
part
sense.
of that. That's part of my job, is to make sure that my crew is, they call it a man hour factor. So they'll give you a man hour factor of, say, we'll just throw a number out there, 0.5. And then, so if you've got 4 guys working on that thing, they work 10 hours a day, you're going to work 40 man hours in one day, not including your time. So, and then you take and you multiply that man hour factor of 0.5 by your hours worked, and they give you a couple other numbers, and that can get a little confusing. You basically calculate it out. It'll tell you, say, if you're spreading base rock down a road, you need to figure out how many cubic yards of base rock you have to spread in one day to make budget or make money. So you have to figure all that kind of stuff out, and so on and so forth. But as long as you're making budget, same scenario.
Yeah.
And your guys are working, things are going good, they leave me alone as well.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I worked in production. You can assimilate it. Like I worked in a bakery for a few years. That was before I moved to the job that was next to Tristan's job. I worked in a bakery, and it's kind of that deal. Like we have to move so many amount of product with the personnel that we have in order to make budget and make sure that we're doing the right amount of, you know, production with the people that we have. If you have too much people, but you're not making enough product out of it because it's moving slow or products being wasted, you know, and it's going to basically down the trash, then you're losing money, even though you have more people. So that's you losing way more money. So we had to make sure people were in line and, you know, on proper. And if we had too many people, maybe send some people home for the day and things like that. So,
and that's, you know, I mean, that part sucks too, because
Yeah.
it's like I'm a newer foreman. I've been operating a long time, but recently this year they made me a foreman, and I know what it felt like to get sent home early. You know what I mean? I know what it felt like to be the guy that doesn't get to work. You know, but it's nothing personal. It's business.
yeah, at this point,
You know, it's like, some of these guys, they'll, you know, it's like when I laid off a couple of guys last, you know, just before Christmas, they're like, well, what did I do wrong? I was like, it's nothing to do. You did nothing wrong. I don't need you anymore. You know,
Yeah.
it's like everything's slowing down. We've completed the fence and that. Now all we're doing is the road work, and we just don't need as many people. So, I mean, some people take it personally or whatnot, but it's just business.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would imagine that if you're a rookie in that industry of construction, for those guys that are joining in, again, thanks for joining in. We'll have Tristan back. I have one of my friends who's a FedEx driver. He's sharing his story for the year. He's also a rookie driver. But, well, we have one of his buddies, and I went blank on your name.
Dusty.
One of his buddy who's an equipment operator, heavy equipment operator. He's now a foreman.
Yeah.
And he's working. So he's sharing his story while my buddy Tristan here, who's a barbecue and smoker, is messing with his meat. So take it as it is. We'll be back in a second. We'll get back to that, but we're going to stay live here for a minute. So if you're on, appreciate it. Make sure you can go ahead and share. Hit that like button. It's all good. The new year's coming up. We're in California. It's only 7:30. We got a little ways to go. So what?
No, you're just looking at me all funny.
You're looking at me, you funny. What's up?
Like, hey, baby. I know it's been a while.
That kiss was not for you guys. It was for my girl. She's next to the camera. So
That's what he tells himself.
Just to make sure nobody over there got any ideas. I'm not throwing kisses. Yes, love.
No.
Come here.
No.
Come here.
You can turn it off now.
See, somebody wants my hand's attention, but she's over there next to you guys on the camera, but she doesn't want to be in the camera. But I'm going to force her to be in the camera. Come on.
She's thinking about it.
Yeah.
She's
It's not like she's on the camera. You guys seen her on the show and on the video just passing by. But that's my baby. But for you, just real quick, just so you don't go anywhere. But for you guys coming in through, we are one of our projects for this year coming up is that we are going to start an additional channel just about us and our journey. So it's not, this channel stays directly towards rookies and the trucking and melting and flatbedding. But we're going to start a new channel just about us and more of our journey in the trucking industry together as a couple. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. We're gonna start that on a different channel. I didn't want to kind of mix it in here, but if you guys want to know a little bit about that, just make sure to comment below when you watch the video on the replay. I'm sure some of you guys were family. We hope you're having a good time. So that's pretty cool. But what?
He asked me if I want any more meat in his mouth. His meat in my mouth. And
Yeah.
I see I'm flustered.
She only has one set of meat in her mouth. But
wow.
You have not been paying attention tonight.
no,
Right.
I'm working. I am working.
My man's meat has been all over her mouth tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure she.
a whole fistful.
But no, it's cool. It's cool. It's definitely different, and I think it's a hard thing to do as a boss, or in your case, titles of foreman, is to lay off people. Man, that's one of the hardest thing I had to learn when I was a manager in production is how to get adjusted to that and not take it personal, and try to make sure they didn't take it personal. But you can't really, they can't really tell them how to feel, even though it's not. It's a business part of it. But I would imagine that in your industry in construction, it is something that if you're a rookie, you have to kind of get used to the fact that that's a seasonal business, and you may have to jump.
A lot of the times, it's usually the guys that just got into the industry that have only been doing it maybe a year or two. Which I had a few guys that just literally just started into the industry. This was their first season, so they didn't really understand that. Or like I said, it's like I've gotten to the point to where it's like I know that I just plan on not working from Thanksgiving to Easter Sunday. Like that's basically the season goes from Easter to Thanksgiving, and that's about it. If you're working in between that, you're usually doing really good.
Okay.
They you basically consider it about 1,500 hours is a decent year in this industry.
So what would we consider an average good salary?
An average person works 2,000 hours a year. 52 weeks, 40 hours a week is 2,000 hours a year.
And what would that come in an average money wise, you think, in a decent company?
Well, it depends on what you're doing and what you're making. California scale is quite a bit more than Arizona scale, or so on and so forth. But you could be making, just 40 hours a week, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 a week. For 40 hours a week, depending right now in California, depending on what you're doing. Obviously,
that's an equipment operator.
That's an equipment operator, and it varies. If you're loader hand, you'll make a certain amount of money. If you're a dozer hand, you'll make a certain amount of money. If you're a blade hand, you'll make a certain amount of money. So it kind of depends on what you run is what you're going to make. So the bigger the equipment is, usually the more you make. But it doesn't fluctuate too much, $1 or $2 an hour or so. And then, but like you were saying too, is the rookies are usually the first guys to go when the layoffs come. And just something that happens, because you got to stop and think. It's like when I did my layoffs, I had to stop and account for, it's like, okay, this guy's a really good guy. He does a really good job, but that's all he can do. So the guys that I kept can do just about anything. I can have them doing this, and then tomorrow I have them doing something totally different.
Yeah. So it's like versatile, like for a trucker, like we were saying earlier, for those who are watching this on a recap or on it. Yeah, I know it's just that mic's heavy, and that's like a little cheaper thing. That if you have all your endorsement, it can open doors. Yeah. And depending on the industry that you get yourself into.
Like you have endorsements and stuff like that. We've got certifications. So you got forklift certifications. You've got hazmat certifications. You've got mining certifications. It all depends on what you're doing. There's all kinds of different certifications that you can have and that you need to work certain jobs. You know, for the most part, most jobs don't require anything. But if you work in a mine or a quarry, that takes what they call it MSHA, which is Mine Safety and Health Administration. It's like OSHA, but for mining.
Okay.
It's a lot more strict. But you have to take their 40-hour class once a year to have that certification. And it's same with like the fire cleanups I was talking about earlier. Those call you have to have a hazmat class, which is they call it a hazwalker, which is a 40-hour hazmat class. And then those jobs you wear a full Tyvek suit, full face respirator, gloves, and everything. And the dead of summer when it's 110 degrees outside, it's not fun to wear that shit.
I can only imagine.
Well, what
Jesus.
the great thing is like I've seen guys do is they'll take and they'll bring a little piece of tube to work with them, a little bit like dryer vent tubing. Get like a 4-inch dryer vent tubing, and they'll cut a hole in their Tyvek suit about here in a leg or so, and then they'll duct tape it to it, and then they'll duct tape it to the air conditioning vent, and then it puffs their whole suit up with air conditioning. So they'll be in the cabs looking like a goddamn Michelin man in there. But hey, you do what you got to do to stay cool.
Definitely.
You know.
We do the same thing in the truck. We take breaks. You got to drink lots of water, and it makes a longer day. But man, you definitely don't want to overheat.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, Dustin, right? I get it right. Get it right.
Dusty.
The beer's kicking in.
Yeah, I need another.
Yeah, I got to drink this and refill. But we're going to take a quick break over here in the channel, and we'll be back to continue to with Mr. Tristan over here. So we're going to take a quick break because I need to go to the restroom. It's been a couple of these since I've got you going online. Well, I appreciate being on the channel, guys. Appreciate the info.
Guys.
Yep, good talking. Well, so we'll be back in a minute. We'll be back in a minute.